Oh. Hello and welcome back. It appears to have just loaded up every single chat thing for some reason. Hello and welcome back. It appears to have just loaded up every single chat thing for some reason. The voice. Hello. I'm up super duper late today. Don't know if you can tell. Why is my mouse sensitivity so wrong? Loaded correctly the first time. Nice.
Stagnation, bypassing collision. You can still have it 3D. Mcolic, hi.
Okie dokie. So, I am not really doing much at all. It's a hecka too late to really be doing anything. I should be asleep by now or something. I don't even know. I'm just messing around with spaceship ideas still. I did a heap of stuff offline. Well, a mild amount of stuff offline. An amount of stuff offline. I have sort of an idea of spaceship. Sort of. So, why not up there? I don't know, it's an idea that I have worked upon for a little bit now. This sort of one. So the idea for this spaceship is... Wait, I should have a screenshot of the thing, there we go. Is this design here. So... I don't know, just more sticky outy things. It's going to be the basic same thing. So we've got our internal area, which is basically a big old rectangle. And the floors are going to be slices that are going through it. The decks of the ship. And then there'll be a bridge area at the front with a chair that raises you up into this area here. So it's a nice simple shape. The design of the wings is a design for the wings. The more I look at it, the more trash it looks though. But it's something. How well this is going to translate into low poly, I do not know. But yeah, it's all about trying to get the scale of the rooms and things. So this is the sort of scale I'm going for at the moment. Which doesn't quite work, but you know, the boxing out I did for the first ship looks absolutely nothing like the boxing out I did for the first ship either, so whatever. Just thinking of simple ways I could have changed that, whatever. So yeah, we got 3 floors to the ship. So we got the first floor, which has the bridge in the center, which will have the chair that raises you up into the neck part of it. This does mean there's going to be a big chunky connecting thing to the neck, like the concept has, which you can't actually access, and there'll just be a little area here that loads you up into it. Unless I just set the scale of things bigger. I mean, the size of a person's like about that big, so you know. A chair is going to be a little bit higher than that, just generally that sort of size. Well, it'll be smaller even, I don't know. I could do fancy stuff. I'm thinking maybe it hides in the ground and then you push a button and it raises out of the ground. So you'll have your... Unless you have your consoles around this, and the chair in the middle back of the console. So you sit in the chair, it raises you up, the consoles go around it. Weird design, but whatever. I don't really know, but that's generally the size of a player. Player's bounding box. The player will be a little bit smaller than that probably, but yeah. So, you know, you go and walk into the bedroom, you have your bed, which is probably a little bit too short, but let's do it that way. I didn't feel like the scale was working quite right when I had it like that. There you go, you got a bed, you got a table, and then I was trying for a doorway. I guess this would have a... It doesn't have the best customizations. And I guess this would basically just be a line upgrade. Could just nudge it up. Whatever. So yeah, there'll be a doorway there into the bathroom. I hate rotating stuff, but because the snapping breaks when you rotate things. Doorway there. This is where it gets a little bit weird. I feel like the doorway for this should be here or up there. I mean, I like the idea of it being up there because there'll be like windows across there probably. But I also like it being here because it's right next to the bedroom, you don't have to go around and in. I'm assuming the lift is going to be here to get up. Whatever. So, the kitchen. And that's another one. So, I like how that just lines up with something. I was thinking the kitchen door would be lowered down. Down like there. So the same sort of design kitchen that I have in the other one. So there'd be stuff along this wall here. You do your stuff, maybe a little table in the corner. A little compact room, but it's just weird how those doors aren't aligned. It's just annoying to see stuff. And then the relaxation room. Should I have that one in the middle? So it could be a gym to one side and then like a couch and stuff to the other. I really feel like that should be two separate parts because body count. Don't know. Okay, I like the door not being there because if the okay, hang on. So if I put the relaxation door over here, the field of view that you can see is more limited. So you don't see anything in the back here, you don't see this wall or that wall, so I could very much limit the poly count that's being loaded when you're inside the relaxation room, the doors are open. Which is actually a thing I could be doing. I could be, you know, if you're inside the room, it doesn't even have to load anything to do with this wall. And all that sort of stuff. So maybe I will have it like that. I could even have the meeting door part of the relaxation room. No. No, because you want like a comfort area and then an exercise area. So, you know, a couch, a TV, probably like a rug on the ground or something. A coffee table. And then some gym equipment on this side. So it'd probably be better if I moved it across. So it was in the middle. Because now you have a dedicated side there and a dedicated side here. You know, 50-50%. Okay. And then you got other stuff. So you have the hangar bay. I feel like the hangar bay should be separate from everything else. Let's start with the storeroom. So storeroom over here. I don't know really what that's trying to snap with. Sure, I'm not sure what that alignment is. Hangar's probably just going to have its doorway right in the middle. Whatever. And airlock opposite to that. The workshop would be accessible from the storeroom. And then I've somewhat extended the size of this room here. Which I'm just sort of somewhat rethinking right now. I'm not sure. Because life support's a bit small. I could shove life support over in this corner a bit. No, I could shove the greenhouse over in this corner. Maybe? It'd be cool if you just like entered the ship and the greenhouse was off to the side. I mean, it's not quite a utility, but this isn't utility stuff. Maybe I will do that. And then that's accessible through the greenhouse. So greenhouse to the storage? I'm not sure. Somehow I gotta have a way to get up and down as well over here. Which I was planning to put in the corner, so this would have to be further down. In which case, just a quick shuffle to the side is okay. We'll do that. Again, with the misaligning doorways. I could make it a bit bigger as well. I mean, because before I had this room stretching up from both floors, so it was like big, tall tanks, but I could have them all sideways or something. In which case I feel like it should be bigger. If it's just one floor's worth. Unless... because power generation seems a bit large, doesn't it? What if it used some of that space? Wouldn't mind doing that. So I could have this be reasonably bigger. So the size of the players, whatever one of these tiles is. So you like, come through and you know you can come in here and you will see that, and then there'll be like the tanks here, which you can see going down to the floor below. Doesn't sound like a bad idea. You won't be able to get between these things, but you can see it. Actually, I could just have a little door over here, I guess. Power generators on the bottom floor of that. Why not? I could do that. But that's going to be reasonably high poly in this area. I guess not. I don't want too much being loaded here. This is a nice... I didn't even think about that, because that's just a nice empty hallway. There's not too many doors. So I could have higher poly stuff within these rooms. Which these are actually the highest poly rooms, so... yeah. With the... oh, yeah, those are the highest poly rooms. Oh, nice. Well, life supports, the other more high poly, yeah. These 4. And if that's going that, I don't know, whatever. What was I saying I could put over here? The greenhouse. Oh, yeah. So I could shuffle the greenhouse over here. And then... but it's actually bigger in this area. I suppose you'd want a bigger greenhouse. I'm just imagining a wall of plants going in an L shape. So it's just like a whole way to go near here. Where this one, I don't really know what the design would be there. I mean, I can think of a design if it was in this place. So that works, I guess. I could have a second storage room, because the storeroom is reasonably big, I guess. And the player needs to go like that. So I guess I could have shelf, sort of a thing. You need to come down to here, so I could move this door to the side so it's easier to access. I mean, I could technically move this door down as well. That gives you more space up here. I feel like it would almost be better moving it up. Because how much space is that giving me? Maybe it might be better to actually move it up. So you could go down there and then I could have runs of stuff. I mean, no, it would be better to move it. You would think it would be better to move it down. I don't know. It's just a boxing out. And there'll be like an aisle, and then this could be all the freezer, perhaps. So cold storage and some aisles of stuff. I feel like there could be some stuff in the hangar bay as well. So you could store stuff in there, you can store your own stuff in here, or things that you can store anything anywhere, but ideally you would keep delivery stuff in the hangar or in the storeroom, and your private stuff would be in the storeroom. and any cold storage would be in the cold area. Or I could use this as an excess storeroom, which would actually work. Would I want sliceable to be bigger or smaller? I don't know. In which case, this could be cold storage. Or would this be normal storage? Which storage would this be? I mean, if you're in a hangar bay, you need to get things back on ice as quick as possible. You don't want to be going up and down levels to do it. But at the same time, if I got the workshop here, you'd want all the stuff you can use in the workshop being in this storage. Just grab it, go to the workshop. You don't have to go up and down levels. I mean, I could put the workshop here, actually. I mean, maybe I do want you to go up and down levels, because that's just adding gameplay, I guess. And it gives me more room for the workshop. Even though most of that's just going to be decal stuff. But that gives me much bigger room for cold storage. Seeing as you're supposed to be primarily a delivery ship, it would make sense to have more storage space. Sure, why not? Okay, so yeah, we got an airlock on it so you can leave the ship and come back in again and do stuff if there was outside things, or just for the sake of because you can. Hangar, greenhouse, water, fuel, and then we got that, so that's nicer. And then we just got a big old area here. I'm not quite sure what I could fit here, which is rather annoying. Power generation, engines, icicles, yeah. So, the main question is, how in the world do you get up and down levels? I would like it if something you actually had to move, it's not like a click and you're down, or some sort of thing like that, but I could have just a click and you're down, click and you're up. The best I can think of at the moment would just be like a little square area on the floor that you just sort of step on and it lowers you down, or raises you up. But I would like it if you didn't see down. I'm sharing the right screen. Yeah, I'd like it if you couldn't actually see down to the bottom floor, or up, which there's not really any good way around that. The way I had it before was a walkway. I mean, I guess I could have a ramp that goes down and around here. So you go up the ramp, and that would lead you up here. So like half that's walking, half of that is a ramp. And then you could go across and down, and that would lead you down here. I mean, that would work. There'd have to be a bit of a gap between floors, but whatever. I guess I could just put a big wedge in the airlock where the ramp is. I'm sort of half expecting the airlock to be like an overly shaped sort of little dome thing. So you just could just have a wedge taken out of it from the inside. I don't know what that could help with. That, or I could just make the ceiling higher. The airlock smaller, I mean, so it doesn't go the full height of the ceiling. I mean, I guess I could take a bit of a turn to get the last little steps down, and it just have it just as big as a player would be. I mean, it works. Or it could work. I'm trying to go smaller in scale in a way. I kept trying to make it bigger and more spacious, but I think compact is better. Especially since the bigger thing makes the little bridge area look weird when it extends out in front of the ship. So, I'm supposed to join, free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to play stuff inside the stuff. The sun's already up today. I'm going to back here in the house. I'm probably only going to be on for like another hour-ish. Probably on for an hour. Kept delaying and not doing stuff. Okay. Well, you're going to have a toilet. You're going to have... Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking. I could just design some sort of... cleaning slash toilet, how do you spell that? Cleaning slash toilet station. So you just walk in and it'll just be some sort of a, I'm assuming just like some thing in the corner. It'll have a toilet in some sort of a way, and maybe it can be lifted up to like hide away, and then it's like a shower or something. You know, a space-saving jump. I mean, that could be more in the middle of the doorway. But I guess it's lining up with everything, so let's just keep that. It's just this one that's not lining up. I mean, I could move this down so it lines up, I suppose. That nice symmetrical, whatever. Except, I would want this door on the other side. That's sort of the problem here. I mean, I guess it could be there and I could just have... Oh, that works fine, never mind. So I'm imagining a wall of a window, big old window here, I guess one over there as well. And then a table with like a hologram projector-y thingy on it, so it'll just be like a holographic interface, which I could have a lot of fun trying to create that. I'm just imagining layers of billboards and billboard particles and junk like that, which is perfectly fine. It's just up to designing it. Green glow, good enough. Steady sort of interface could be displayed on it, so whatever the heck I think of, by default it will look nicer because it's got an effect on it. I say this like it's a thing I can pull off. Yeah, that sort of stuff. The planetary ordering of supplies, accepting of missions in general. And that's all on this floor, that's on that floor, and then that's on that floor. So the only other question is like this big old space we got here. Like, I really feel like that should be filled with something. It's too big. Like, the hallways are pretty damn small. It's going to feel relatively claustrophobic. But that's just too big of an area to have empty. I don't like it. I was trying for at least one tile, I guess. Like one of these grid things. So this is half the grid thing before. So, yeah, 2 people width in this stuff. That's a little low. Down by 1. Nope, that was actually perfectly fine. Yeah. But that's a bit wide. But whatever, the airlock's the only thing. I guess I could shuffle the airlock to the side. I'd like it to be in the center though. Because that's got a big area, that's a big area. So I could have the ramp, like a ramp or something on in any sort of way. I could have the airlock down here, I suppose. I just feel like it needs to be opposite the hangar for some reason. But it would be cool if you went down to like the utility rooms and stuff for the airlock, I feel. But then what would be here? I mean, I guess if that's big, that's big. There could just be like a little ladder in the corner to get down here? Nah. I mean, it would be nice to have different methods to get down the floors. So sure, that could be like a ramp thing. You take the ramp up. Oh, it feels so much better if it was a ramp like that, wouldn't it? And then to get down to here, there could be like a little utility hatch that you drop down. Oh, I do like the idea of that. It sort of messes with the shape of the ship a bit, though. Externalities. Well, the airlock could be entirely on the inside now. Okay. It's an idea. Actually bringing it to life in 3D, this design's going to change a heck of a lot. But whatever. So now we have the kitchen. How does cooking in space work? So ideally you would not want an open flame, I would assume. You would have like an electric heating cooker thing or something like that. How is eating of food going to happen in the game? So as I was saying last time, I could make it relatively more complicated by having ingredients and stuff like that matter. would be nice. So creating a variety of dishes keeps your player a bit happier, where just eating nutrient paste or something is quicker but less good for your mental well-being in the long run, quicker and cheaper. Which is why you have the greenhouse to supplement food supplies, give you some variety just by default. You don't have to pay extra for. Yeah. So, do you need different appliances to create food? I mean, I could have something like a stove and a microwave looking thing, and then I just have like a machine that does everything for you. So the other things are just there for aesthetic sort of style thing. Maybe it's like legacy stuff for your ship in case something breaks down. Or, you know, that was what was in at the time, but then this new product came out, that's what everybody uses now. So I could have like a stove, a little microwave thing, generic look in the kitchen, a fridge, and then some sort of a thing that you just put food supplies onto and it will turn it into food over time. Or a chopping board? Okay, that would be an interesting way to do it. So you just put the ingredients onto like a chopping board type thing, and then it makes something. Time skips forwards, it turns it into food. I could have a build-up of dirt and stuff on the appliances, but yeah. That would be... cleaning is a thing that I haven't even thought about for a moment. This cleaning of the ship itself. But yeah, so... I like the idea of like a chopping board type thing that you just drop ingredients onto and then food happens. So how exactly would that work? How would you select your recipe? Do you select a recipe? Perhaps you just put food items onto the chopping board and food happens when you press a button or something like that. I mean, that could be interesting. That adds a level of experimentation into the game in a weird way. So I could have like pre-coded food items like pasta and things like that. And if you put the right ingredients down, then that happens. I mean, that could just be a fun sort of minigame type thing. I like the idea of that. Or if it's an unknown thing, it could just do the closest thing, or it could make something bad. Maybe I have like a little poster there saying basic food things, but then you could also experiment, so it could be like an Easter egg type thing that you can also have these other stuff. It's weird thinking of that like an Easter egg. I mean, that's sort of implying that like Minecraft is an Easter egg with the way you craft stuff and that. You never get told how to do things, you just figure it out. Or at least that's how it used to be. Especially if you didn't have internet. You make like a ladder looking thing with sticks and it makes a ladder and you're like, oh my god, it was a ladder! Oh no no. Anyway, I sort of like the idea of that. So, what sort of a shape should this be? I mean, if that's the size of a table, I think it's extend that a little bit. Let's be at least that big. I'm just imagining like a whatever type thing. Why is it 0.001? I hate that. Unless it's defining the text as well. I don't know. Last time I had like a little island thing on it in the middle of the kitchen. Oh, that hurts. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so I'd want like a pantry. I'd want a fridge. So that's the size of a player. We're doing alright there. spotty behavior. I'm assuming, yeah, you're already gone. Yeah, that's the size of a player. I mean, I guess a fridge is like the same width of a player, so it'd be a little bit smaller than that box. Whatever, fridge. I'm assuming I could just pop down the text size somewhere. I don't know why, but I imagine the pantry. I don't know how you spell that. I don't think spell check. I imagine the pantry being in the corner and the fridge being next to it, but this works better, I think, because of whatever. Pantry Pokemon? Pantry? Kitchen. Pantry double? Pentry. The pantry? And yeah, then I imagine the stove next to that. I'm just imagining the way that I sort of had my house set up now. And then in the corner I had a microwave looking thing. Microwave oven thing. That's like rotated. Basically rotated like that on the bench. Can I rotate text? I mean, I could just put text out sideways. Whatever. So, you know, it's all within reach. Just to fill the corner with something, I suppose. And then, I guess you'll have your chopping board thing over here. Oops. Oh, everything's got small text size. Is it 12 point? Oh, it's 12, not 13. Whatever. What? It's 30. Wait, oh boy, that could have gone terribly. But like everything's lining up again. Oh boy, that would have been very bad. That stuff doesn't spoil it. Alright, so you have a bench with a board on it, a little oven in the side, stove, pantry, fridge, and that's your little kitchen-y area, I suppose. So you'll be able to like open it up and you can have a smaller cold storage and whatever. So I could have seasonings and things you could buy as well. And you just pick it up, plonk it on the thing, do the whatever. I'm assuming once you've done whatever you're trying to do, it will it'll automatically put it to wherever you picked it up from, because your character could only hold 2 things at a time, or one medium-sized thing. So you could be like, grab, place, grab, place, and then it will just, you click on the board itself or whatever with empty hands, and it will craft or whatever thing you're trying to do. And then everything just returns to the last place it was gotten from. What about if you didn't use all that? No. Because, like, what if you had salts and you used some salt, but used the last of the salt? Now the salt's not there, but it put it back automatically, so you don't know it's not there until you go to use it again, because you wouldn't just be looking to see if there was still some left and went back. But I could just have it have like a gauge thing it's on it. Maybe when you place it down, it changes color or something, or will show how much it will go down if you use it, so you can see that, like, you know, it should be intuitive enough that every time you do that, you'll notice, oh yeah, this is decreasing by that amount every time. So when it does the little last part, that's the little last part. Okay. So we've got the meeting room. Can I make that sideways but the other sideways? So I'm imagining this being a much bigger table and not having a chair or anything, you just sort of stand and use it. Hello, table. So holographic table, which would look cool with the window, which is sort of why I wanted to be down. I don't know which ways. Maybe it has like a corner piece. Like I want to be able to look out and see the planet that you're orbiting or whatever, as well as the holographic thing of it. So I guess if I had it so you could look up a bit through the ceiling, so it's on a beveled edge or whatever, perhaps. Or maybe just some portholes above as well. I don't know. Look at the bridge. So the one thing that's not going to be, I mean, it just is what it is, will be the chair in the middle. So you can just assume that that's about the size of a player. It's all sideways now. So if it's up there, then we hop at the, we would actually be down here, wouldn't we? Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that hurts. It's different to the way I'm thinking of it in my head now. So if this is the top of the ship, that's the bottom of the ship. Forwards is up, so left and right sort of a thing. Then when you hop into the chair, it needs... I guess I can have it rotate and as it moves up. That's all good, it's all good. So you hop in the chair, it sort of lays you back and it goes up while rotating around to put you into position for piloting. Sure, why not? So the other thing, well, once you're in the chair you can't look down, so you wouldn't... Because I don't want to be able to see the screens in here. If I'm projecting textures onto the screens, I would like it if I didn't have to project all three at the same time, because of absolutely no reason anymore. I'd actually be quite valid. Almost. I'm not sure. Depending on the resolution, it could take a whole lot of processing now. Uploading textures every frame to the graphics card to be put into the Atlas map, unless it was in a dedicated image. In which case I could just draw three wherever I want them to be. I really should have a dedicated image for frame-by-frame draw-on textures. Shove it in the Atlas map. But the Atlas map works fine now, and I figured out problems with it, so it's a heck of a lot more efficient. Okay. So the way I was thinking of it is you'd have your chair, and then you would have consoles around the chair. I could even do like a curved design. I don't know, it might be a bit high poly if you have things looking up as well. So I guess I could have them to sides. And I guess just greeble out the whatever junk that we don't care about. In which case I'm thinking of something sort of along the lines of, well actually no. Piloting will be done from the chair, so it will have its own little cockpit area with all of the controls for that. So this would just be basic systems information and basic communications, like radar and sensors and stuff like that. And then the chair, and then I could have a wall with like a screen on it with projected stuff showing like a map and things, I suppose. Which the cockpit area would have its own little map. So you would just hop with the chair and you'll be able to control where you're trying to go. It'll have like its whole UI thing like that. And then, you know, just a static one on the wall so you can sort of see like progression towards destination. If there happens to be like an alert of some sort, like, I don't know, messages from a stranded ship, or if you're about to be attacked by pirates or something, I don't know. You've received ship signatures. So you could run up and see that stuff from that position. You could just see the wall and you hop the chair and you go up. Or it could be showing some other walls or something, I don't know. And I guess that sort of works. We don't really have much room for the player. I mean, I guess the chair would be a bit more of a that sort of thing. So the player could move around. I could also offset the room, I guess, so the chair's more off to a side. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm imagining this is quite a relatively tall room. Okay, sure, why not? So then we got relaxation. I mean, really this should be down further, because if I got the ramp there, but is it gonna be a ramp? I mean, I suppose I could put a little elevator in it as well, but I'd like to have multiple modes of transport sort of thing. I'd like a manual way to get up and down levels and an automatic way. So I could put a little elevator in the corner here, I suppose. It seems like that should actually be acceptable. In which case I'd want it over this side. Chances are you'll probably be using the elevator. The question is, how big should it be? I could have like the door to get in being here sort of a thing. So you enter. In which case I feel like it should just be like a little triangle shaped room. I mean, it just seems like it fits in nicer. Triangles aren't the best in this program. That's not the type of triangle I want. What controls does this give? No. Can I have a right angle triangle? I want that, but cut in half, which I... whatever. Alright, that works. I mean, it's just a little elevator-y thing to get up and down, I suppose. It doesn't need to be that big. Should it be a bit bigger than that? I mean, I guess it should just be up to that. Because it's rotated, so it's not snapping correctly. God, I hate that. Can I see its location? I type in what I want. Edit shape. Oh wow. Oh, that's actually quite nice. In which case, let's do that again. But edit the shape. What is this 97? Why is it saying 97? I mean, that has to be... It's 100 by 70. So if I say 770, or better yet... This is 97. I guess it's a variable name? I don't know. So northwest would be that corner. Southwest would be that corner. Southeast. I want to turn southeast to up here. So y to be 0. Yeah. That's what I want. Okay, perfect. Good enough. So yeah, player will be in here, and you've still got plenty of room to move past there. And it's easy access to get to the bridge. I have absolutely no clue why that's trying to type down there. Lividor? Oh no. Is that because of something I did? I would assume so, but how? Why is it all different? So that's all I've really changed. How do I move the text up? Damn it, text! Why the heck are you down there? It thinks the whole thing is just one whatever down. Oh. Hey. Hey, there we go. Elevator. So I'm imagining just flat part at the back with the button to go up and down, and the sharp corners would probably be cut off as well. Oh no. Guess I could just move the door down further. Feels wrong being in line with that edge though. But again, 3D is 3D. I could just lop off the corner a bit. I'm only working with perimeter shapes. So let's just say I could lop off the corners a bit. If required. Oh, I feel so damn off today. It's very annoying. It feels wrong. It feels like I'm missing something. Like something amazing was happening and now it's ended. I hate that. Sort of crazy dream that I had last night. I don't know, I don't remember. Otherwise I probably wouldn't be feeling this. It's something very adventurous. Crazy fun. That dream's amazing. Half wish I never had to sleep, and half wish I never had to wake up. wonder if there's a drug that makes you dream. Like a knockout thing that will put you to sleep, but will also have you have a dream. No. As far as I know, like knockout gases and stuff like that, surgeries and all that junk, knocks you out, but you don't dream while you're in it. You just sort of wake up and time has passed. Imagine you could take a drug to exaggerate the depth of your dreams. Make them feel more real. Huh. I wonder what it would be like sleeping after taking a hallucinogenic. But instead of staying awake while you trip, you go to sleep. I don't know, it would just be like taking a hallucinogenic hallucinating thing in the first place. I suppose that's the thing they used to do, experimenting things like being in a deprivation tank on hallucination drugs. I feel like all of the corners should be like cropped a bit. Cropped? Bevels? I don't know. Relaxation room. Can I flip that? Don't have any fancy stuff going on with the text. I thought that had a whole lot of text things. Guess it's all this stuff. What that means? All fixed, okay. Whatever. Cha. Imagine taking up a reasonably large space. But for play. Generally a chair takes up more size than you standing, I guess. Yeah, I guess the size of the player would be like the size of a chair. When you're standing there, you're a bit thinner and longer, but you would want at least that much room around you, so you know, personal bubble, safe zone. So these areas are actually a little bit bigger than they look. I feel like that should be forwards a bit. Bit of a wall buffer zone at the back. Whatever. Chair. I mean, that would just be in general. That would be to do with the 3D model itself. Yeah. In fact, I sort of imagine it being rotated around a bit. Doesn't quite work though, does it? Because there'll be a big old window over here, and then like you have your... Ah. Alright. Could actually be flipped and still fit. Okay. entertainment screen thing. That over this side. Alright. So you'd want this room to be reasonably spacious. It's a relaxation room. Or be feeling claustrophobic in it.
Mono, yo.
Oh, Mono. Hello. Hello, Mono. I am designing a brand new spaceship. I'm going back to the spaceship game. The factory game, I don't like it anymore. I mean, it just fundamentally does not feel good playing it in a weird way. But the solution to that would require me breaking one of the rules that the whole game's supposed to be built around, which is has to be something from a first-person perspective, because I try to demo the 3D game engine in the first-person perspective because that's the best way you get a perspective of 3D-ness. I don't want it to be a top-down, but things are 3D. You know? I want it to be like in the action, first-person.
Mono, at least it's not an idle clicker.
Yeah, idle clicker. I mean, that's actually one of the ideas. I wanted like a 3D first-person idle clicker game. I'm not quite sure how that would work. I think I remember thinking about that for, it was the same sort of a thing. You click stuff to do stuff, then it would be like a factory building game, but your factories would be clicking for you. So you would place them around the place and...
Go0NYMO. Hello, sir.
Hello. Stuff like that. That's how you would do it. So it's like an idle clicker factory. Be interesting. I remember thinking about that at some point anyway. Why in the world is that lump on my arm so large? I feel not bad a second ago. I'm designing a spaceship. Or attempting to. So this is sort of design so far. I'll just try to position things within the room to check to see I got like sizes okay and stuff. So the spaceship design externally would be something like this. So your floors are going sideways to the direction of thrust or whatever, so you know, like ship's always accelerating, which gives you artificial gravity. But you could also pilot around like you would expect. So the idea is there'd be a chair in the bridge, which is in the center room, and you sit in it and it would sort of swivel around, flip backwards, or you'd flip back, no. You would sit in it, it would raise up, flip backwards and swivel around, and it would raise you up into this area up here. So you would have like a whole lot of...
Degree tilde degree, degree tilde degree.
Yep, a whole lot of... I'm surprised that didn't say code. Yeah, a whole lot of like glass in your control panels and the normal look cockpit thing. Oh, I still have that just saying chair. But yeah, I like sort of this design. It's pretty basic. It looks better than the one that I was doing previously by a whole heck of a lot, so whatever. Well, obviously my one's going to look mildly different. So, systems, basic systems. Yeah. Systems and sensors, communications. Let's go with sensors. How the I can never spell that damn word.
Mono, I got to go for now. I may be back later. My new desk is nice.
Don't know how long I'm gonna be on for today, but oh, great. Sensor array. That'll probably come up with something. Right. So sure, let's go with sensors. So sensor information, there'll be a screen on this wall which will show you stuff like map and things that aren't interactable, but will be there, and then you hop in your chair to go up and change controllership. Yeah, you got a kitchen, a bedroom, bathroom thing, elevator, which It works. Just a compact elevator for going between floors. Next layer down, you got storeroom, cold storage, a hangar bay, greenhouse, and liquid gas storage tanks, I guess. So fuel, air, and water. Although I could just have water and ignore air, because, you know, electrolysis, you can get some oxygen out of your water and all that sort of junk. But I don't have a system in the game that I'm thinking of currently for that. I'm trying to keep it more simple. Should raise that up. And then the next one's like utility stuff, so you've got an airlock to get out of the ship, engines, workshop, and life support. Do the doorways here. I feel like engines should have two things, but no. That'd probably be like a big thing.
NYMO. What language you use for coding your game from scratch?
JavaScript. So this is the previous form of the game, which is in a reasonably older version of the engine now. I've done like half a year of progress on the engine since then. So yeah, this is JavaScript and GLSL. So I use GLSL, which I think is what it's called, to use with WebGL to use the graphics card to run code. But there's no libraries, no nothing like that. Every line I've coded myself.
0NYMO. Nice.
Yeah. Every pixel is there because I told it to be there, and I done the math for everything. No googling or anything like that. I just make it until it works. Slap the keyboard until it happens. So yeah, this is the original idea with the original ship that I built, but I don't really like the design. I mean, it looks pretty damn nice regardless. Yeah, you would have like communications, flight controls, and sensors. And then, you know, server room. I've done away with the server room for now. I'm trying to simplify it a bit. The whatever you call it, crew cabin. So bed, desk, thing, bathroom. I'm gonna go for a more fancy looking bathroom this time. And ramp to get down to the lower level. So back then this was the dining room, but now it's going to be you know, a holographic table sort of thing to accept missions and junk. Elevator, the lounge, the rec room, the relaxation room or whatever. So couch, screen, and exercise equipment. You got to look after your character's mental well-being, mental and physical well-being. You got to eat, sleep, and I could have drinking water be in there too. But I was gonna say,
you some kind of coding god.
I am just very, very bored for long periods of time. That's all you would require. Yeah. All that stuff's simple enough. I built a whole 3D game engine. I mean, it's just nothing compared to that. I could literally talk for many hours about all of the crazy systems I got going. Like, you see all the stuff on the side here. This is the information being sent to the graphics card. It goes behind the image too, but yeah. So, I basically built a hard drive to send the information to and from the graphics card, because you can't just say A equals banana, then on the graphics card side, what is A? You wouldn't even be able to see the word banana because it doesn't deal with strings, so everything's going to be numbers. So, yeah. These are all of the variables for everything to do with the game. So vertice locations, for objects, for faces, for everything, UV information, all that sort of junk. It's all grouped together and stuff here, which isn't really grouped together. It's just there, but the stuff at the top tells you where to look to find the beginning of something. Like, that's raw data. Then you've got indexing information. Then you've got the indexing information. Then the index is indexing information. And then a version number. Stuff at the top. So that's fun. So yeah, you can see it all moving around as, you know, if I look at a wall, there's not much to render, it's just this one face basically. But, you know, as I turn around, the more polygons there are, the more it needs to render. So the graphics card sees that mess and spits out this pretty image. It does ray trace rendering for it as well. I don't know how else you'd really do it. The loading screen's done on the CPU, which this one had the old loading screen. We pause that, so it's not drinking resources. So yeah, this is the new updated version. The game engine, it's a different game though. But this is all run entirely on the CPU. So this is just using the JavaScript canvas thing, it's just drawing squares. It's actually drawing triangles, but whatever. Which is mildly annoying because it's got this wireframe issue. You can see that's a perfect place to pause, but there's really annoying wireframe cutting through things, which is the whole point that I switched to the graphics card and did all of the code manually myself. You can't do per pixel calculations on the CPU side, so I need the graphics card to do that. And it took a while to figure out all that stuff so I could actually run my code on the graphics card without running it through some automatic do-it-for-you thing, because I don't like that. No do-it-for-you buttons on my stuff, unless I created it. But yeah, that's damn annoying. And technically I have the same problem still with this, but I managed to minimize it enough so it's minimized enough so you don't really see it. Like, you can see black pixels appearing on this line, but I think that's to do with the texture itself. It's not my thing.
G0NYMO. Do you work as a software engineer?
Nope. I mean, I would if somebody paid me. But nah, nobody really needs the stuff that I'm really good at, which is coding things from absolute scratch without using other people's code. Everybody's all about using other people's code, which I don't do, because it's really annoying. I don't like it. And it's more fun to build yourself. So yeah, this is the game I was building before, a factory building game, but it's fundamentally not as good as I thought it was going to be. So these are all billboards, like Doom type enemies. The original classic Doom, except more images. Each one of these has about 50 images to it. So it uses the reflection map from that I have going on with things. Normal map, reflection map, it actually interacts with the lighting. So this isn't an image that's just baked. Like, I could change my reflection map and it would change how these would look. I could change the base color for them and it would change how they look. And it's just like literally one color. It's just a solid color doing the coloring. So yeah, I got normals, reflections, roughness, and diffuse and emission maps. That's what it's got. They don't have emissions on these parts though. But yeah, I reckon that effect looks pretty damn nice. This game is supposed to have like a whole heck of a lot of different types of objects in it, and you can't, like, it's good to keep everything on the graphics card that needs to be there, and the graphics card could only deal with 8 4K images supposedly. So this is how much I got a terrible Atlas Packer thing that I've created. It's not the most efficient thing, and there's a missing texture which makes a duplicate one of this texture, but whatever. Yeah, you can see how much of it's filled just with those objects alone on an 8K map. And I would have hundreds of these things. This is just like 10.
What should I learn if I want to make a 3D game engine?
The basics? I don't know. I wouldn't have a clue. I just literally just sit down and do it until it works. Like, have the early version? Just crash that so it doesn't use resources. What's the 2.0 version of my engine? I don't have my original version up here anymore. But yeah, this is like everything I've, well, at least half the things I've created over the years. The very first thing I created was this simple basic text adventure thing, all just using divs. It's all JavaScript. I'm sure if you asked anybody else, they'd probably give you a whole list of stuff, but I didn't really learn anything, I just did it.
Morning.
Hello. So yeah, just a simple text adventure thing is what I started with. Oh, I meant to say yes. It's annoying doing that. Yeah. Like scroll bar thing that goes all the way from the top to the bottom, or you click and drag. You can also highlight stuff because you can type things in. I'll copy paste them, so I could say attack, or I could say 1, because it's the first option. Yeah, that's what I started with doing. And then I did a tower defense game, a copy of a mobile phone game, which was pretty damn bad. Blackjack, because I was trying to get a job at a company, which, oh my god, that was terrible. Like, they ask for something, but the guy who's asking for what they want has clearly no idea what they want. So the guy that made the job application thing doesn't know a damn thing about the job they're making the application for. They're just like, oh, I hear I need this thing, and these words are words people have said, so you must know these words. So years of experience in those things. I'm like, what? Like, they were asking for add-ons or plugins or whatever, and it simply just refreshed the browser for you. Like, why do I need experience in that to get this job? I could just press a refresh button. It's irrelevant to the job itself. Supposedly they made casino games in what was it? Flash, and they wanted to convert it to JavaScript.
You're 0NYMO. What area do you work in?
I don't really. I have a sleep problem that sort of stops me from getting a job that requires me to go to a certain place at a certain time consistently. If I work by deadlines, it's all fine, but why did my phone just go off? It keeps doing that. It keeps making noises at me. That's really annoying. I have no notifications. What is that? Letting me know how many steps I walked in the last week? In the last day. I'll look at that later. What was I saying? Yeah, so I just say the government pays me to program. Yep. But program my own things, learn how to do stuff. So I try to do at least, well, ideally I'd like to try to do at least 6 hours of work a day of programming stuff, which seems reasonable compared to if you had an actual job, but it's very hard to do. Anyway. So yeah, I think there's a few things that are missing here maybe. But this is the first version, or the second version? Which version is this, did I say? I mean, technically this is the first version of the game engine. So you're standing inside, I was trying to make a Myst-like game. It actually looked like this originally. Yeah, Myst, if you ever played that game, old school point-and-click adventure game, I was trying to make a game like that. What quicker way to move around? Does that zoom out? Oh, it's probably because I got that. There we go. So I don't have to waggle the mouse for this one.
Adivec 23. Myst was interesting.
Yeah, so it used to bug out on my PlayStation when I played it. I had Myst Riven on my PlayStation 2, and yeah, half the time it would bug out, and you could see that you're actually just standing inside of a 3D cube with textures on the sides of it to do the 3D images. So that's what you're sort of standing in here. You can see the wireframe problem because this is done on the
Adivec 23.
CPU.
I remember that one too.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the early version. It had like lots of distortion stuff, lots of problems, so I had to like subdivide this a whole lot for it to work. And my camera wasn't the best. It has this weird fisheye lens distortion. You can see like it curves there, and then it's straight, and then it curves again. That took a while to figure out. I literally just sat there and did it. Like, I just, like, how would I do this if I knew what I was doing, and then I just do that. If it doesn't work, then, well, I probably have a better idea what to do next. Yeah, but I'm really, really bad at art and UI. Like, this looks reasonably good. It's like, oh, why don't you just continue that? But this stuff took forever just to get this far. This is everything I had to get this far. Yeah. I was messing around with compression options to see how small I could get the images and all that sort of stuff. So that's why it looks like it's compressed craziness. Anyway, but that's the first version of the engine. This took about...
Maybe you should go back to it.
No, I have literally spent over half a year trying to design point-and-click adventure games. It just doesn't work. I have to have somebody else to help me with it. Somebody to help me with art, story, and all that junk. I have a general overlying thing, obviously, with an amount of time to do stuff. Like, you get somewhere, but... yeah, when it comes to the actual details of what I'm trying to do, that's where I'm stuffed. Like, it's like writing a story. Like, I can make an overarching plot of what exactly happens throughout the story, but when it comes to the actual interaction between characters, like this person says that thing, that person says that thing, blah blah blah, I can't do that. I have absolutely no clue. My mind just goes blank. It's the same sort of thing. Like, I can think of the overarching idea of what I want the game to be, but how you actually do it, I don't know. This one was supposed to be, you start in that room and it's like, oh, okay, it's a room. I like the idea of misinformation-y sort of style things. So like you think you're in a place which is outside, and then it turns out you're actually being underground the entire time. So you're trying to escape, which is like when I was back up there, I got distortion things in the map baking. So many people said you would never be able to get rid of that. I have it on the Facebook 360 stuff and everything, but I got rid of it later on. So yeah, trying to get out. The bar's on the window. It's supposed to be like a forest or something outside. You know, that's your goal, trying to get out. I like the idea of showing the goal to the player at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, and this is supposed to be like a temple, so you can look out through there, and it's supposed to be like a big old temple.
Go0NYMO. I GTG now, but I followed you, so I might check back later.
Okay, I'm not sure how long I'm going to be up for today, but who knows, I might be back tomorrow. But yeah, but if you just want to see if you're still there, the latest version of the point-and-click adventure was... Oh, that's right. No, yeah, I don't have it here. I don't know why it's missing. I'll manually find it. It's missing a text file or something. This is what this ended up as. So the very first version of the 3D game engine took about a week, or 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks to get it rendering 3D stuff, although very badly, but I didn't realize it at the time. And then it took another a week to get rid of the camera distortion, so it wasn't all wobbly. Then it took another 3 weeks to get this, not including time it took to model and render and all that. It was like 6 hours or so to render one of these images. Gonna waggle the mouse to make it move in this one. But yeah, this is what I ended up with. Interact with things. Yeah. I was copying off another game, which you can see at the top here. So if you go to my site, you can just remove the .html at the end of games, show you the files. This is Point Adventure version 0.2a. Interactable objects, so you can see it there, but I pick it up here. And now it's not there anymore because I picked it up. It's nice objects I got. I love how it rendered out, it looks so good. Exactly what I wanted. But I couldn't continue with this game project because the guy who has the game that I was copying from, I showed it to him, he didn't directly say for me to stop, but he heavily implied that I shouldn't be doing this. Or at least that's how it seemed to me. Very disappointing. I'd asked him years earlier if I could do this, but no way he would have remembered. Now I have a fancy 3D game engine. I wonder how much time has gone since that one. I mean, I didn't put dates on stuff. I have dates around, but I don't have it on these. I should label them. Put it in the meta information. It must be at least like 4 years ago I very first started my first game engine now. It was a little while before I moved into this house, wasn't it? Was it? Was it? What? Was I still using my laptop at that time? No, definitely not. Why do I seem to remember rendering on my laptop? Not at all how I would have done that. Weird. Dates don't match up. Anywho, what I was up to? Oh yeah, this is missing doors. Doors. Power generator, workshop to life support. Sure. which case I'll use this one. And let's have a doorway down there as well, just because I can. Okay. So... blah blah blah. Nice, relatively symmetrical design. I guess I could sort of mess around with the outside design of the ship just for fun. Design. I don't know. I just feel like I should for some reason. No. I should get like the proportion-y stuff down first. Well, I mean, I guess I sort of do have the proportions down. I don't know. Well, let's just continue this then. Cold storage room. Wait, so... equipment. That's an exercise. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Next floor. So... storeroom. What's the size of the player? Do I want this to be like really confined? I mean, I could do fancy things with it, but I think I'm gonna go with the design of this one. This one. Because the storerooms in this one look nice. Just a whole lot of shelving things. Can I bounce? Oh, I have it, so I can't just spam the button. Interesting. I wonder why I removed that. It's a very odd thing for me to remove. I like it how as I jump up, it becomes higher poly. Oh yeah, that's physics stuff. Because you're moving so fast down, you would go through the floor if you kept going down, so it stops, but then it assumes you've already reached the ground. And then gravity takes over because you're not actually at the ground, so you fall down a little bit more, and then stop before you hit it a little bit more, stop, a little bit more, stop, more stop. So I was like, whoo, like a bouncing ball sort of thing. Yeah, so that was the old design. Fridge, shelves everywhere. Problem is, I can't have too many shelves. Well, actually, I can have quite a lot now, because poly count is perfectly acceptable, as long as I'm using billboards. So I could do the same thing I'm doing with the other one and just render out perspectives. And I could render out a lot more perspectives, so like, if you were, maybe not, well I guess, so you would have like, top shelf, middle shelf, bottom shelf sort of thing. And then a crouching perspective. Would crouching be a thing? Let's not have crouching. We don't really need jumping either. I could have jumping just for the sake of it, but I have a valid excuse for not having jumping. This is my own game engine I'm building from scratch. Jumping is an extra feature, instead of just having jumping but not including it. Yeah, that way I could just do like a 360 thing of the renders of stuff so you can see it from different perspectives, not just around it. Heck, a lot of textures, but it's a higher quality game, so whatever. Yeah, so what would be the most efficient layout of the storeroom? I'm assuming the biggest equipment you would probably have would be about the width of a player, which is sort of what's going on in here. You know, that shelving unit, person could be standing there, I guess. So that would be, yeah. So a square of this wall here would be about the size of that. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, the ship was a lot bigger, wasn't it? That's like 3 tiles then for that. Wow. I can just scale everything up, but I would like it to be more condensed because the smaller it is, the better it looks. From the outside. Shelves? Is that a word? I think that has to be a word, right? Let's just say shelf. It just seems wrong saying shelves. It seems wrong having it sideways too, but whatever. I assume that would be in the middle then. So let's just see how well I can stack things up here. Do the beveled corner like I do with the other one. That's enough. Oh, I can just... 0.7? The heck are you on about? Ooh. 30, okay. How big is this? 40? No, sure not. I mean, yes, but no. I don't like all this extra empty space we have here. How could I fill that? I mean, I guess I could have a little shelf on the corner here. I guess that works. Alright. I'm imagining it being like a wall on these side parts. And then like a beveled corner. Whatever. And then you've got your cold storage. It's just a simple box. Okay. Then so much empty space here. But I guess this is the main trafficy area. Hang on. You'd probably have like a waiting area up here, people would be coming and going. I don't know. I can't really design the ramp to get down because it's weird. I'm imagining it's just a ramp that probably starts there, goes down, and then across a bit. So we'll have like a last little step going down that way. And then you can go down again in the same sort of way, so it's a spirally thing. Sure, why not? It's just the spacing here is annoying. I'd like it to be the same for both floors. I don't know, or I could do that other thing I said, which is have like a little, so a ramp to go down one floor, but then to go down to this one, instead of a ramp, you just have like a little hatch that you go down. Ladder or whatever. But if you're coming and going from the workshop, which is down there, from the storeroom to the workshop, I don't know. I just like the idea of a ladder instead. If for no other reason than because I can. Whatever. How big should the hangar be, I guess, is a question. I mean, if that's the size of a person, that is quite small. Oh. I have the feeling I need to extend this out a bit more. In which case I'll put the door up here. Oh, but then the ramp doesn't work. Unless... I mean, there isn't any ramp there now. Unless I take a chunk out of this, which I'll stick a chunk out of there, chunk out of there. I guess. So if I did that, I could imagine more of a ship could just fit in here. Unless it's like a docking situation. So it'd be a docking bay. I'm imagining just some sort of a giant door here. So like you could imagine it, something docks onto here, supplies go in and out, and then it leaves, so it's got a big old door. And then just an airlock for you to go in and out of. So this is supposed to be pressurized, not supposed to be like an airlock. In which case, I guess that works. I like that. Yeah. Just be like 1 or 2 steps here. Unless I had the ramp go the other way. I mean, if I'm just doing a hatch in the corner, then it can be a ramp that just goes like across and down. So you can just imagine going up. And then under this area here, there's just a hatch that goes down to the utility rooms. Whatever. How big of a big door would it be? I mean, that's reasonably big, I guess. It's only a small ship. So I'm imagining at least, like, you know, 2 people could comfortably walk through this. Basically like a hallway. We call the hallway door. Probably some sort of a circular-ish design as much as the polycount will allow. Okay, taking of the greenhouse. So the greenhouse is a lot like the storage area. Very similar in design, it's just a hydroponic system. The only excess thing that this would have would be an inflow-outflow pipe that would lead to water. Okay, which I haven't really thought too much about that. So one idea I would like is for the pipe to be blocked between locations that use water, which is the life support. Let's say the power generation, whatever. Yeah, so you wouldn't really have a pipe going to the storage because the storage is supposed to be great. You wouldn't have a blocked pipe, a water pipe from that. You would have it from dirty sources, which would just be the greenhouse, the kitchen, and the bathroom is the only places that use water on the ship. I mean, perhaps the workshop could, but I haven't really thought too much about the workshop. Don't really know what I'm going to put in there and how maintenance is going to happen, maintenance issues. So, yeah, and I don't really want to have blocked pipes in the kitchens or bathrooms, so the only other place would be the greenhouse. But then it just feels wrong having it only one thing with the water pipe that could be blocked, but then it is a greenhouse, so it's sort of a thing. So I'm imagining it just pumps water directly from the greenhouse to life support and back again. So clean water goes there, it would block, but dirty water coming back would block. So I'm imagining it would be like the other game I was saying, so there would be like conduit pipes that go around the place, and some of them could have pressure valves on them and something, so you see the pressure valves a little high going from like this way to the life support room. So there'd be like an in-out sort of thing. I guess there would be like a waste pipe. Yeah, so there'd be a waste pipe, water pipe, fuel pipe, and power conduits. And I imagine them running across the ceiling. Then on the floor there would just be, you know, strips showing you where to go to get to each room. Directional strip thingies. And then, Wasn't there something else on the ceiling? Why do I feel like there was something else on the ceiling? Yeah, whatever. That'll work. In which case, I guess I could have that. So there is pressure little things, valve thingies on the pipes on the roof. You happen to see one that's been off. You're like, oh, that's all right. Which, you know, you could follow it back. You can see that, you know, inflow outflow from certain things is wrong. I could have it for the other rooms. It just never happens because there is no place for it to happen. In which case, I have to design the greenhouse with an outflow pipe in mind. That's easy enough. I mean, I'm assuming the hydroponics is just a whole lot of slanted growth bed things. So they'll just be slanting down to a place. Maybe you see a pipe. I don't know, it's pretty high poly. Unless I had some sort of a big sign saying like outflow, something like that. I don't know. What would a blocked outflow pipe look like? How would you clean a blocked outflow pipe? I'm just imagining some sort of an catchment area. And then it just gets filled with gunk. I don't know, leaves and stuff. And then you just click on it, it clears out of the way and everything returns back to normal. Yeah, I mean, I guess. So I could just have like a little catchment bucket and a pipe running out and up. And it's just sort of there. It would be next to something. So I'm assuming this would have like a little closet somewhere, which would have like seeds and things in it, a little seed storage. And it would just be next to that. So every time you're looking at your seeds, you see this thing and you can see that it, oh, it's full of leaves or something. And then you see a pressure thing, you're like, oh, well, there was that thing that was there. And put two and two together. There you go. In which case, I imagine that being, well, I guess it could be in this corner or in that corner. No, it'd be in that corner. No, but then you'd have the box in. I don't know. So you could have shelves like that, and I guess you could have a little area over here, and then you could have the box and stuff there. I feel like if I'm going to be doing that, this should be shorter. I really feel like it should be over here, but then it's like this weird, you know, it's not flowing the water down to the lowest point. It would have to be there, because you can't just like bridge it over and then get over there. So I'd have to have a pipe that goes through the roof, leads to one side, and then a pipe that's brown that goes up and connects to the conduit stuff on the other side. Alright. So it would have to be over here. This is a very spacious room, considering the rest of the rooms. I guess I could just make them thicker. Whatever, it's still pretty spacious. But no, I want the seed thingy over here. Okay, how about... How does harvesting work? If you could only carry a maximum of 2 items, or... Oh, that's right, I was thinking about a bucket last time. No, you wouldn't do that. I mean, you could do that. Should I do that? So I was thinking of having a bucket which you could just load up with stuff, and then you can carry multiple things. You could have dirty stuff, which you would have a bin somewhere that you need to put trash into. Which means I need to have a whole trash system. Well, that would just be in the storage tank, I guess. It would just go to the waste storage. So you just have like a liquid and solid waste. In which case there could be just bins in rooms. You could just toss stuff into. Okay. I could quite easily just like put one in a place of a shelf and one in the corner here, you know. just around. Then it just like connects to the waste pipe. So in that case, I'm just thinking of just a box over here. I mean, the storeroom's right across the worm. I don't suppose you. That's back to harvesting then. So when you harvest stuff, you would. I can't have it at the top. Whatever. When you harvest stuff, if you can only carry up to 2 things, I'm imagining each run would be cut into sections. So you just click on it, and then you have a handful of something. Click on another one, you have 2 handfuls of stuff. And then I guess you could just take it to the storeroom and run backwards and forwards. But it would take a while, it'd be annoying. It'd be nice if you do it all in the one room and then take it all. Or if it had its own little storage shelf. Or if you had like the bucket idea. I don't know. I do like the bucket idea. But it's just, how does that work? Because you won't have physics in like normal physics sense that you would expect. My physics aren't that good. So the bucket would just be basically click on a thing, you click on a thing, and then it would just be placed in some sort of a pre-generated location, probably randomly, depending on conditions, and then you can pick it up depending on what you click on to grab it, put it somewhere else. Generic stuff. But what's the problem? I guess that works. The bucket would actually be a 3D object which you can carry around, and you just plonk it on the ground wherever you want it to be. It'll have places on the ground. I can make an easy collision thingy for that. So you can't put it anywhere which you wouldn't be able to put it. Sure, why not? I'm just imagining you taking the bucket to the airlock and it gets lost out in space. Like, you just let go of it in space and then you bump into it and it just flips off. And just, here we go, goodbye. You lost your bucket, whatever was in it. Facebook notifications. Why did I just get... Oh god, I got a lot of Facebook notifications. What is this? Somebody said they didn't expect to see me. Do I know this person? Who is this? Seem to have 12 mutual friends with me. You must go by a different name, how I don't know. Weird. I have no damn clue who you are. Damn it, now I want to check my notifications. What a Facebook message? What? Applied to Masters? Facebook. Ah, delete and block. Wait, is that the owner of the page? Oh, okay.
See the guy over there with the drop-dead Filipino girlfriend? I'm just gonna leave that guy for 20 minutes. The right 20 minutes.
Desired? Decided. Okay. Alright, damn it, I wanna know what this is. What's the coronavirus deaths in Australia? What does the stats do? Australia. That's too low. Oh, there's that tiredness hitting me. That's recently. change? Oh, it's this map. Cool. A lot more red in that map. I don't know what the color means. That's a cool one. Oh, Australia got bit pretty quick. Does it go down or does it just go up? Over cases over time. Okay, this is the one I thought it was. Shaken between 10 and less. Or 10 and 10 and greater than 10. Less than greater than 10. Less than, yay, oh. And now it's starting to get worse again. India's actually, or at least yesterday, India has got the most amount of increase in cases per day in the world. I feel like I need something off to the side here, at least like a little table or something, for no other reason than just to have a table. Wouldn't do anything. Oh yeah, so if I'm going to be doing that, then this could just be a little encatchment thingy off to the side here. Little outflow thing. So there'll be a pipe coming in, going across to there. I mean, I guess this just comes from water storage. Or does it go through the life support room? Like, is life support pumping everything around? So that goes directly from there to life support, in which case I could just have the pipe go out this way. And then life support then distributes it to everything else. In which case I guess there would just be one pipe that goes from there to there, and then from this to everywhere else. Which I want to take the normal routes, so it would just be that main pipe going to the... Sure, why not? I don't know, I'm getting damn tired now. Yeah, it's past 9. I think I'm gonna go. Who's online? Who's there? Who was in the chat? Who is bot? Well, you ain't bot. And you ain't even there, what? Huh. Who's doing that thing where I need to refresh the page again? Did that last time, then like a whole heck of a lot of names appeared in the chat. Maybe it's a bug. Yeah, it's a bug. Who the heck are you? I feel like you're a name that I should recognize, and you're in here all the time and probably talk all the time, but for some reason I'm just not recognizing. Oh, it was this guy again. No, okay, yeah. I remember seeing you and being like, this is a very suspicious account. But at the same time, you do exist. You do have streams. This does seem like a valid account. I just don't know why you're in my chat. Whatever. I feel like you're not real, but I also feel like you're real. Unless I just literally do not remember your name. No reason. Just tired. I'm gonna go. I'll probably just design the rest of this thingy offline, and then when I'm back tomorrow, I'll be modeling it all up or partially through it. I don't know. I was doing stuff while talking to people on Discord today.